Hey everyone, I am back. It's been a minute. Goodness gracious. I think the last time I saw people, my dry eyes were killing me. If you know about dry eyes, please put a thumb up. My dry eyes were killing me. So it was so bad that on one occasion, people would call me and go, "Oh my God, you're having a heart attack." And I was like, "I don't think so." But dry eyes are when your eyes don't make enough fluid. So my eyes are blinking like this. So if you look at any of my Instagram stuff and my eyes like this, no, I'm not on drugs. I got dry eyes, right? And when you got dry eyes, sometimes it affects my voice. So I am back. It is 2025. And a lot has happened since the last time I left. I got a short haircut, new glasses, and you people look beautiful. And I am hoping that whatever resolutions you made, that you'll stick with, that they represent the best part of you. And I know that, in January, we had some disappointing things that happened, um, diversity, equity, and inclusion was taken out of companies. I know that Target and Walmart has decided to not push diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then there are people who are like, I don't even know what it is. So why am I upset that it's gone? And then there are people who are federal contracts who no longer have affirmative action or equity, so they don't get preference anymore to contracts, right? So everybody's supposedly on the equal playing field, but things can't be equal when you have redline communities. Things can't be equal when you have communities where there's still food deserts. Things can't be equal when the first change is about um, changing things that affect people of color. So, one of the things I want to talk about a little bit today is I want to talk about, what is diversity, equity, and inclusion? What it is that it is a mechanism to promote diversity within the job sector, education, churches, social environments. Like, have you ever been to a place and you were the only, right? Like, I've been the only. When I went to my master's program, I was the only. There are times when I'm speaking and I'm the only person that looks like me, that has a nose shaped like mine, that has hair that's curly like mine, right? But diversity is about opening the doors and creating opportunities for other people to come in so that you have a more diverse experience that looks more like the coloring of America. Because America is browning and it's multicultural and it's all of that stuff. And America is built on immigrants, right? Coming here to taking the land away from the indigenous people, right? But it's about looking at the fact that everything is not equitable, right? Equal. So you can have two people who start the same place, same college, and this person gets a heads up because of who they know, right? Or gets a heads up because of the fact that they are the right complexion, the right religion, the right ethnicity, the right race, the right something. And this person has the same skills, but there's no heads up, right? So it's not equal. Equality is when you create mechanisms so that I too can go maybe get through mentorship or go through a special program, can get those promotions as well, right? And inclusion is, means you and me can be included in the laws, included in having a say about society, included in classrooms, so that when I look at the history in a classroom or my children's school, I'm looking at not just European history, I'm looking at the history of Asian Americans, Africans, African Americans. It's inclusive, right? Where I'm listening to music, I'm not just listening to R&B, I'm listening to hip hop, Latino music. When I go to an event, I'm not just looking at heterosexual cisgender people. I'm looking at people who are binary or non-binary, transgender. I'm looking at inclusion, that everyone is accepted. That's what it is. That's what inclusion is. So that is what's happened in January. So I know a lot of people are very nervous because on Martin Luther King's birthday, we got a new president. But here's the thing, right? We had other presidents like Bill Clinton who put a great many people of color in jail for having a small ounce of crack cocaine. There are a lot of presidents who do things that aren't always for people of color. So I don't know if this president's going to be any different, but what I do know is that I hope that he has learned from past mistakes. And what I do know is that I've made a resolution. Yep, I sure did. And the resolution is this: I'm going to be happy. I'm going to find joy. I'm going to connect with people that I love and spend time doing the things that I love to do. And I'm going to get more silent than loud. So you might see this every week, you might see this every other week, but this is what I want to challenge you. When was the last time that you sat in silence? When was the last time you just sat down and just took a breath before you jumped up and did the next thing? When was the last time you just laid on the floor, Zavasana, and just listened to the sound of the music, of the silence? When was the last time you gave yourself a hug and told yourself it's going to be okay, right? And that life is full of surprises. This part wasn't expected. It might be disappointing, but just like a good movie, a couple of scenes later, something good happens, right? My resolutions had to do with joy, wellness, health. I had a dream last year and I made it come true. And my dream was, you know what? I'm going to not just be a trauma informed provider, I'm going to be a wellness provider. What's the difference? Well, trauma informed provider is that I'm informed of how trauma impacts the body, the mind, and I have a whole bunch of certificates that show that I am a trauma informed certified clinician. I do EMDR, I do brain spotting, I do hypnosis, I do internal family systems, all that stuff. But what I do know is that clients would leave me and I'll go, you need to go to yoga or you need to do some breath work because you stay tense. And I realized that within 15 miles of me, there is no yoga studio for people who look like me. My office is in Ellicott City. I live in Windsor Mill. The studio that I actually rented is in Catonsville, 15 miles of each other. And there was no studio that looked like me. There was no teacher that looked like me. And the closest I could find a place that looked like me is where I graduated from yoga class and meditation class, St. Copa, and it's in Laurel, right? And that's about 25 miles from me. But if I want to be in my community and if I want to find a place of rest and solace and peace, I can't find it in my community. And here's the biggest thing, and I can't sometimes find people in my community to join me in just resting. There's a saying, rest is an act of liberation. What does that mean? Well, when there were slaves didn't get the chance to rest. They had to work constantly. And even if they were tired, they still had to work, right? Rest is an act of liberation because what it does is slows you down and it frees you from the stress that you're experiencing. It frees you from all the toxic energy that's been around you when you get wiped off. And when you rest, right? Or when you sleep, the sleep bundles get clean, the brain gets cleaned out. So when you wake up, you can think clearer, right? Resting is so important because what it does, it takes you out of fight and flight. I'm talking fast and I'm moving fast and and it puts you in parasympathetic where I'm chilling, I'm resting, I'm feeling good. And for many of us who are descendants of the Holocaust, who have race-based trauma, who are descendants of Asian Americans who have been assaulted because of their nationality, those who are Muslim who have been targeted because of what happened during 9/11, will you stay in a place where you're activated, where you don't have to get ready? You're always ready, right? Where you're just tense, right? And where life doesn't seem easy, it seems challenging. So I had this idea, right, that I'll do counseling in my office and do Reiki. I've got a massage table, I do Reiki and I do somatic experience. And Reiki is about moving the energy, somatic experience is about moving the pain in the body that comes from energy that's stored in a way that highlights suffering and pain, right? But I said I wanted to stretch and I wanted to do things that allowed people to be free in their minds and free in their bodies. They go in tandem to each other. So I created a dream. Got some people come, some people don't come. I think we've had about 4 or 5 people at the same time, and I love it. Love to have more, but I love it. But what I love is that when people get off that floor, and we only do 4 poses, and they got a blanket over them, and they've got a bolster. What they say is, "I feel so good." And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense, right? You were still, and normally you're not still. And when you're not still, your heart is beating fast, your speech is speaking fast. You're not you. So by slowing you down, right? Even doing yoga nidra, by slowing you down and getting you to do the 61 points in the body, it allows you to be present in a way that you don't often get to be present. Right? If I look at the people in the Holocaust or the Japanese that were imprisoned, or I look at slaves, they didn't get permission to be free. They didn't get permission to be still. And they didn't get permission to choose their wellness, to be rejuvenated. So I'm going to invite you to visit me at my website at CandiceRDickens.com. Other one is coloroftrauma.com. And I want to challenge you to think about, what is your end game, or what is your dream? And what will you do to make it grow? You're going to talk about it like I just did, send postcards out like I did. What you going to do, right? Because the dream that you have this year will lay the foundation for the purpose of life that you live, right? And a purpose-driven life is a life that has meaning and value. So I want you to really think about, maybe even journal, what is the purpose of my life? What brings me joy? What can I do that will not just change the trajectory of my family, but change the trajectory of me? So I'm not so angry. I'm not so tense. My stomach doesn't hurt, right? So I want to challenge you with that. And come back to Color of a Dope Black Therapist, because I'm going to have more conversations. Hopefully, I'll have people on the line with me so we can talk. But I wanted to do this one by myself because it's been a while since I last saw you all, and I miss you. So, like and subscribe. Welcome back, and take care. And I'll see you later. Peace. And you know this is something when I can't turn off this thing. Oh goodness. But I am trying. I am trying to turn it off. I may just have to turn it off, guys. But real talk, I look forward to seeing you. And it feels good to be back with my good eyes and my great throat and my pretty red smile. So, with that said, I think I just need to just hang up maybe. I'll get better at it. It takes one thing at a time. Peace out, everybody. Mhm.